back recording, I was cut off right there. I was saying, yeah, about the mechanic time in the car. It took him, to time the car maybe about he tried from September. He put the engine in there and the transmission back. It took him September to almost December, the end of December trying to time. He was saying he could handle it, but it was difficult for him. So I had to take the car with a Lone Star and let them time it. Somewhere in East Dallas where they timed it within a week. Because he was able to get the car slightly timed at Jan and West Dallas, but it still had slightly like a blowback misfire. So it was still slightly just off time. And it had a slight vacuum leak too. He didn't have time to get to it. But anyway, he put the gasket set. When I got the car back by February, I drove it February, noticed the coolant leak between the back of there, between the ceiling and the block. And that wasn't his work, that was Blaine's work. But I showed you the ceiling gas they had. It maybe was not as good as the Fail Pro, but after it stopped, it done it one night. I came in the next morning, noticed the coolant, had to put a pan underneath there. Weeks later, it stopped. So it made just the compression when I was driving it. They recommend with those cars, you got to go 50 miles per hour. You can't get on the highway or nothing, so you can't go 60 or nothing, which a highway is standard speed, 60, 70. So you can't even get on the highway with this car. You got to, it says 500 miles it recommends you go, underneath 40 miles, 50 miles at its most. And so I maybe within that week or two went about 60, highway. And then I noticed the coolant leak that night. When I came in the next morning, I noticed there was a trail of coolant between the ceiling and the block. It leaked out. I put a pan underneath there. Now, over the weeks, the period of time I drove it, when it got maybe over 500 miles, it didn't never leak again from that ceiling and block. Like the gasket, ceiling gasket, it had to span, for people to tell you. So, that's what happened. So it didn't never leak again. But it still had a low compression from there when I took the quick cards. Maybe off of I think I took it in May or something like that, or April. They told me, because I done a compression check on it, was concerned about that coolant leak. And it had a low compression, but I just went on to the quick cars off of Hampton in Dallas, Texas, and let them look at it to see was my notes right. So I used a compression tester, was from Harbor Freight. And then they turned around, it had a low, they diagnostic looked at it and it had a low compression on cylinder 240. 180, cylinder 1, cylinder 240, cylinder 3, 70, cylinder 3, 480. So, and it could have been cause like the book recommends, I got a Haynes book on it. When it's a leak, anything arrogant, that's where to get low pressure when it's not compressed the whole engine. It's not just could have spurted out that coolant. From the cylinders firing at night, going over 40, it had that low compression. So, other than learn with the book, you have to really kind of do what it says, because these cars, the stuff these men make, it don't hold up too well. And so, like I say, but once I got the car back, by February, after the guy named Mary, he timed it at Lone Star when the guy at JNL, he got it close to, but it had a misfire back. It was slightly out of time and had a vacuum leak. They fixed it over there and just it was between the exhaust where the air leak was at. I had put shade down the block and the exhaust a little and then put another gasket and stopped it. And then they just timed it in the car. Now, it was quite expensive, it was $500. It was silly because at Blaine's times, the engines they only time chains, not belts. So that's silly in itself. Because actually I asked the people at Blaine, because the mechanics at Jenny was asked they should have timed it. And I called Blaine and asked them why didn't they time the car. When it would have been this situation, they was telling me we time belts. We time chains, but not belts. And so I said, would that have been a service extra with the engine? I would have had to pay. He said, no, if you'd have got it, if it would have been a chain, we would have timed as part of the engine rebuild. So that's silly. And, I asked them, could they find anyone, before I had to keep looking around. I had to call Mom's warehouse where the guy was telling me had timed it. It was some of the mods and dealers, but finally I still had the guy, and he said he was able to handle it without them having to send me some instructions, from a Mazda company somewhere here. So, it's the thing is that when the gasket set is put on there by February, like I said, I may have drove it about May either way. Also, it had an upper timing cover plate leak, so oil was coming out. Quick cards notated that besides the low compression. They done leak down to see that little small leak because of the cylinder head gasket probably. And then, but an upper timer cover plate too. So those gaskets don't last. You have to sometime redo them again, because I believe that's a new gasket I brought over there, like that box I just showed you, that they just gave me again to dress this engine up with. So I'm gonna show you this Apex set so you know the difference if you ever buy Apex. Another gas center, I probably keep the Apex. Only thing is that because they all have to be done again. This gasket set out. See it. Tell you not to open it, you're not gonna keep it. You can see the off up in here they have the exhaust manifold. They just about as good. Main one it's graphite. Got the these are the EGR valve gaskets, metal. What you got is the throttle body in here. And the rest of it is your paper. Put that valve cover gasket over there. That's doing for it. This kit comes with the everything, the conversion. So, and now, as I was explaining, this kit right here was $44. It's 48. Let me see. No, wait a minute. The cylinder head gasket where it's just everything. The cylinder head for that car is Apex brand. I had to ship back. I thought it was a 4-engine gasket set. It was $44. This kit here, I'm showing you, it's $66. And this is a complete engine gasket set for what I really need, you know, not the cylinder head gasket. It comes with valve cover, upper timing cover. You know, I bought upper timing cover plate. I bought an upper timing cover and a lower timing cover for Monza Worcester, and I bought some these right here are the dust covers. The slide inside of the upper timing cover, the lower timing cover. Then so it comes with that. And this is the rear main housing gasket. Bottom of it comes with two seals. Two seals, the water pump and the oil pump. And this is the conversion gasket set here. And this is the exhaust throttle. This is the exhaust manifold. Those are the top. The ones that's in this set, you know, it's gonna line up with your exhaust manifold to the engine. The engine cylinder head. See now, they didn't sell this off here. You just buy this separate and sell, bro. But I probably do believe sells this, but this comes in this kit here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use my own one and have one. I was just thinking, you know. Exhaust manifolds. I ain't went to that one, I just used it. Had it. And this is the oil pan gas, and it also comes in this Apex kit with a few valve on stem seals. It's like the Pro. And this is the cylinder head gasket, as you can see here. It's packaged, it's a graphite. Make sure you see that, it's graphite. Check this out so you get a pretty good idea of what this looks like. This kit, this is the Apex kit. Hard pan gasket. Showed you the upper timing cover plate and lower timing plate dust gaskets that go inside of those covers. But when you buy the upper timing cover plate and lower timing cover plate for the engine, not plate but covers, upper timing cover plate, lower timing cover plate, it already comes with those dust covers. You know, where I found them was at Monza Worcester, because those upper timing and lower timing covers for that 1980 Monza 626, It's very difficult to find. It was the only point I must confine besides the water thermo that I bought from a company that's called, I mentioned earlier in the videos I had, it comes from a company. It's somewhere located somewhere, but those are the two hard parts to find: a water thermo valve. The mechanic asked me to find a gel. He said I need to replace. It's this valve right here. And this is exhaust manifold. Very hard component to find. Come from car part or something. I mentioned in my earlier videos, this part was $50. This valve right here, going to the exhaust manifold screw. Thermo. So that was hard to find. And then also the upper timing cover and lower timing cover. But when you buy them from Mullins to Worcester in Ohio, it comes with these seals. I mean, these dust cover. But this anyway comes with in that kit. Now, this is a cylinder head gasket. They mentioned on the front of the box, you know, it's a gasket said now, you know, not returnable. Said not returnable if open. But it came slightly ripped. You know, they put all this stuff in it. So, but this one here, you know, it's not open, but it just gives you with the cardboard, so it makes sure it don't get bent. This is the gasket, the Apex cylinder head gasket for it. It's like a pretty good gasket. Cylinder head gasket you could use. Besides Velcro. Velcro just has those seals a little bit better, but that red strip look like, but it's a gasket you could use. You can get it down right. I showed you this is the remain seal. This is the oil pump seal and the water pump seal. The remain seal. Cemented set. Valve. Cover. Throttle. And in the same package, you got the throttle. You got your EGR valve. These ones are slightly in the middle here. And then you got these on the outside of your exhaust manifold. Them two right there. And as you can see, you can probably keep this set because it's not much different. It's just these gaskets here, the paper that you're buying. I'm gonna put this back up here so you can see that, because that's the difference between Velcro and that one. But Velcro is to me too high on this gasket set, and also Apex parts Geek is selling. And I bought the Velcro set from Advance. All the parts. Also, all the parts I've been buying between August of 2018 to now, and this is February right now. Shooting this video February the 6th, 2019. They got a lot to Advance. All the parts for this car. But when you buy a nice amount, you begin to get a discount. And now, this gasket set here, you see it's paper. You know, you can use it, but it's paper. You know, it's the upper timing cover is it's you know, it's pretty good. It looks just as good. Only difference, this is a paper gasket. The Velcro gives you a metal upper timing cover. Here. You know, you got your water thermo. Water outlet gasket. You know, this looks like that's a pretty standard gasket. The throttle is going to be paper, same thing as port to metal. The upper timing cover plate gasket is metal. It's just paper. All these are paper, and it comes with a water pump gasket too. You know, but it's paper. And that's the only difference. But I noticed between the Velcro brand and the I showed you Car Crisp by Dayco water pump they sold, it was in a gasket with it, just over here. Right there, you see. It was metal, and it was a better gasket. It never leaked from there. It was between graphite and reinforced metal. Better than the Field-Pro. Field-Pro close, but our gasket was better, came with the water pump. Never leaked from there to the very end. This gasket set here, it's paper. It's paper, so. And the exhaust manifold is paper, but we maybe can make it work. It's all paper. How much of it? Paper here is yeah, the upper timing. And you can see the timing cover. It's paper. It's paper right here. They put in 2 rear main housing gaskets. The rear main one. About new paper. It's also manifold is paper. The water thermo is just paper. These gaskets seal, but I believe with heat they could warp. They got the all pump strainer gasket in there. Let's see. The water outlet gasket is in here too. It's paper, but it could seal if you use some RTV. And heat maybe wouldn't warp it, but it's gonna warp it a little faster maybe than a Field-Pro. But it looked like it could stand up. It's just the only thing difference you get in this kit here, besides the Field-Pro, it's just that middle upper timing cover plate gas, which you really kind of need because that's where it had a leak in the first place. But that was a Field-Pro set they just gave me. It was the old style I showed you over there with the car. It still leaked from it. I showed you it was in that bag here. That gasket there. Like top it leaked. And that was that's what it had. Now, I don't know if the mechanic used my old one or, but I believe they gave me a gasket set. I took over there. He maybe didn't use it or something, but it leaked from that one. There's a fiber gasket over there. And the middle one maybe does do better between the upper timing cover plate and the cylinder head where oil is going to fluctuate because there's a lot of heat between there. And gaskets can shrink or warp. I've seen them with the exhaust manifold kind of pull away from areas and warp. With that 2-month span, I seen just it slightly leak there where oil was trying to residue from the moisture build up. So these are the gaskets I thought I'd show you. I believe what I'm going to keep anyway. This is a cheaper gasket set, and you just really have to do it over and over sometime. Because these gaskets, whether you buy Field-Pro, whether you buy Apex, Field-Pro is a pretty good brand. It doesn't hardly leak from the water outlet, I've noticed. When I bought the gasket for that car back in August or September 2018, the mechanic asked me. It didn't leak from there because he had to replace the thermostat. I had to buy that too. And it didn't leak because of that seal Field-Pro has over here on that gasket there. That red seal. And the cylinder head won't either because it has a seal belt. But they can with the upper timer cover plate. And so when it does, you just have to look like do it over because it's none of the brands, the heat stuff man making, it's just not really reinforced with the right stuff. I believe they could have put with the upper timer cover plate, they could have put something reinforced, like fiber, with the metal backing on the timer because it's a lot of heat. But the metal one probably will work when you use RTV. And so, but I'm going to probably keep the Apex kit here because I know you have to really do it again. Looking at the gas to turn what came off of it, and that's on it. But I want to show you that just one last time here. So just giving people an idea. If you ever buy Field-Pro, old Field-Pro, Apex. So let me. This is the gasket set. Idea. It's cardboard. They got here. Apex. You got these in the exhaust manifold. Looks like it's a durable gasket, just as good as the black one, the fiber. Water outlet. Pro makes a pretty good water outlet though. This is the water inlet. You can probably use the water inlet or TV if you can't put on it before. It didn't hardly leak from there. Because the old gasket's probably just filled from. Oh, he used the old gasket set that I just had on there. Didn't leak. Some parts they want to require people when they redo those engines. When I looked at Haynes, they want to require that you do the oil pan gasket. You replace all old gaskets. You don't have to, but if the car is pretty old, you know, it's over like mine. That car is over so many years old. It's over, you know, that car is 88. It's over 30 years some odd old. And then the guy who had the car last, he probably hadn't redone and rebuilt the engine. Probably it hadn't been a good 10, 11 years. And if you don't have to, you won't. But it just went out on me in May where I had to rebuild it. And I bought it from a person. I may have drove it. No, the car may have went out on me in June. And I took it to Service Pros and they documented it had a low compression on several of the cylinders. And it just stopped on me and was smoking. So, you know, but anyway, you know, I decided to rebuild it over because it looked like the car, if you figure out, you know, about the engine, what's underneath, close to the modern ones. Moderns ain't no different than the old one. It's just a computer. But car is a car. I was saying about the gasket, said you have to do it with the Haynes book recommend. Once you redo it, you redo the gaskets on the car. And once you redo the gaskets on the car, they recommend, you know, you redoing once you rebuild all of the gaskets. And so that's probably where I should have mechanic used the gaskets that's old, or it came with the gaskets Blaine gave him, but he used some of my old ones. Or I don't know what went wrong, but it should have leaked from the oil timing cover. Plate gas where oil go through. And I see the one they seal with is metal. It's probably better than getting the cover board, but I would still try the Apex because I believe it's just still something you have to do over. Because ain't none of this stuff here, you know, holding up, and the mechanics charge quite a bit to redo them over. So I just thought I'd show you that gasket set again from Apex here. It's papered. You know, thickness, if you can see. I can break it out of plastic, but getting a pretty good idea. It's got all of them in there. Water, all pump strainer, remain bearing, thermo. The water, outlet gasket, water inlet gasket.